What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Brian's Custom Auto YouTube channel. Today we are working on the Trailblazer for a little bit. We've got a bunch of parts on order for it because it's got that stutter that it's doing. So right at the moment we are putting on the coil packs. I've got one side done already and I'm working on the slow side now. The passenger side is always the hardest. We've got all 4 coil packs off. They're laying up there. Let's start putting the other ones on. It's very simple. Two 10 millimeter bolts per, and then the wires you got to change. That side over there, I hadn't pulled the wires yet, the plug wires, because it's so hard to get in there. So I may not change those just yet because I've got another vehicle on the way to work on. Probably won't be videoing that. It's a Range Rover anyway. So, but that being said, hang tight and I'll bring you back. All right, guys, we're back. It's the next day. We finished up the Trailblazer yesterday. Turns out the coil packs wasn't the problem. Although we went ahead and replaced them, the coil packs were not the issue. It was one of the spark plug wires on the passenger side. I know that because after I put all 8 coil packs on, I put the 4 wires on the driver's side and then ran out of time before the Range Rover guy here. And he and I had to take that to town, the Trailblazer to town, and it still ran exactly the same. After I got done with the Range Rover, I replaced the 4 on the passenger side wires, and it's like brand new. So that was it. It now has its power back. It's fun to drive again. Now we're moving on. Right at the moment though, I have on the lift my neighbor's Silverado. Well, actually no, this isn't even a Silverado. So he explained this as it is the cheapest. Now he didn't buy this. He actually inherited it. His spouse just passed away and we trying to help him out. But this was her dad's, his spouse's dad's truck. And he said it was ordered as the cheapest possible model that you could get. Guys, it's got a 4.8. It's 2-wheel drive. It has crank windows, rubber floor mat, cloth seats with no center console. Like, he said he wouldn't even put heat and AC in the truck if he could have got it without it. Anyway, but this is a work truck, but it's his work truck. So we are going to try and take care of it for him. Because why? Because that's what we do. And I'm fixing a weather strip right here. That weather strip. Yeah. So, we're going to try and do this and hope my shop don't blow away in the process because Mother Nature's upset about something today. Maybe it's because that meteor's coming. Who knows? So, anyway, hang tight, guys. We're going to drain some oil, see how bad it looks. Guys, we are under this Chevrolet truck, and I just have to show you this. So I pulled the drain plug out a minute ago. I cleaned the pan before I did this, okay? Now, let me back the camera out a little bit so you can see. Keep in mind, I've got the oil cap and a dipstick tube out. Yeah. I think we're putting an engine in. Like, ugh. That looks more like milkshake than anything, honestly. But I am kind of down here in the dark. So, that being said, we're going to let this drain. And, oh, let's see what's on the end of this magnetized drain plug here. Yeah, while that glumps out. Let's see. Yuck. Yucky. Yuck. Yeah, that really isn't showing you guys any. See, this is why I need a cameraman. Anyway, let's see. There's nothing else on there. But, okay. All right, let's let that sit there and glug. Okay, guys, somebody tell me what's going on here. That's like jelly. Look at that. Ew. Look, it's glumping. What in the world? You know, I've heard stories of mixing the green antifreeze and the orange, that it turns into jelly, right? I don't know if that's true or not. I've never, look at that. I don't know if it's true or not. That looks like jellyfish droppings. And I'm gonna have to switch my pan. Here, I gotta put that back in a minute. I'm gonna switch my pan. This pan's slapped full. Anyway, hang on. I have heard stories about mixing the antifreeze. Look at that. And it turned into jelly. Maybe somebody in the comments can let me know if they know any fact to that. Look. That is ridiculous. That's like tar. Ugh. Well, look, it's going in like honey. Well, I guess we'll let that sit and drain for a bit. Golly. Now, I've heard the stories about the mixing antifreezes, the green to the orange and all that, and that it turns it into jelly. I've never seen it in person. I've never seen the actual effects of it, but I kind of wonder if that's not what's happened with this truck, is they put the green antifreeze in it and it turned to jelly and maybe lifted a head and shoved it all into the bore. I don't know. I don't know. Or is that just from the sheer amount of miles? So, who knows? We'll find out soon, though. What's up, everybody? We're back. It's next day. I have been working on my shop here. Got it up another 4 foot in the air and then got it strapped down to where it can't go nowhere. And I should be working on that truck, but I'm not. Because my new struts came in for the Blazer. I've already got this side up on the jack. And I think these might actually be the shorter ones, so it might bring the front end down a little bit, but I'm not real sure. We'll figure that out. If it does, great. If not, we're probably gonna lower it some. But anyhow, the biggest thing is we just got to get these struts changed because the ride quality on this thing sucks anymore. We did change out the coil packs and the wires on it to get rid of that stutter that it had. That lasted a day and a half. The coils were great, but the silicone wires broke down in a day and a half. So we wound up going to O'Reilly's and Scott hooked me up with some better quality wires that were actually a little shorter too, which was great because I didn't want a whole bunch of extra. And we just put the original coil packs back on there and I just sent them other ones back. So there's no sense in holding on to something if you don't need it. But now the struts are here, so let's get them changed out. I'll walk you through it as we go. So after getting the other side completely done, I now know the fastest rate to get this done and the most effective manner. Because the other side I've spent the last hour on, this side I've been on for 10 minutes. Now, at the top, you got two 19 millimeter bolts right there and right there. You have to get those from over the top, okay? Zip those off. Now, before you take them completely off, put one back on, the easiest one to get to, okay? Usually it's the one closest to the front. Then, you want to jack your Trailblazer up, put a jack stand under the A-arm, go ahead and take your sway bar completely loose, okay? Go ahead and take your top ball joint completely loose, knock that out, get it out of the way. Make sure you got a wire. I've got a good wire holding this together so there's no pressure on any of the lines. All right. 18 millimeter bolt right there with an 18 millimeter nut on the back side. Zip that out. Yada yada. Very simple. And then, quite simply, once you got all that loosened out of the way, all you got to do is tap. Not hard. Not anything crazy. And it just pops out like that. And guess what? That bolt that you just got loose at the top, now you just got to zip it out. That's it. And then do the same thing in reverse. As I said a minute ago, put the new one back in, popped out super easy. So it comes with new nuts. Obviously, we're going to use them. Okay? So, sit those there. And then we will put this in with one nut up there first, and then align the bottom. And that's where the jack stand comes in, because once you get the top tied in, you'll want to take that jack stand, leave it right there, and lower your jack to put the pressure in here. I'll show you that in just a minute. So I was able to get my fingers in there to start the nut up there. We got it lined up right here to go in, so we just want to line that up like so. See how it tries to slide in? All right, now there's a groove in there that you got to watch for. Okay, there's a groove in there. That's where that bolt lines up at. So we're going to see if we can do this here. Up. Hang on. All right, let's see if we can line it up now. Might have to give it a tap or two. See how it just slides in? Now that groove is not lined up just yet, so it's got to go some more. So we lower the jack a little bit more. All right, you're not wanting to put a whole lot of pressure on it, just a little bit. I would say that's probably it. Let's see. Yep, that's it. Now we can put our bolt back in. Up. Might have to tap it a little bit. There you go. Put the nut back on the back side of it. This is why I need a camera guy, guys. You're gonna go around from this side here. Look at there. All right. And now I'll zip that back together. We'll zip the top two back together and I'll bring it back in a minute. All right, so we just slid that back in there. Here's the nut here. And we are going to put it through the way it came out. This way here. Put that guy back on there. We'll zip that back on there, and then torsion bar's already hooked up. Not torsion bar, sway bar's already hooked up. Everything else is done. Straighten the wheel back out. Throw the stud, or throw the wheel back on. Tighten up the top nuts. That's it. And we've replaced a set of struts on a Trailblazer SS. That is all there is to it. All right, YouTube, we are under this OBS Chevy, and we are trying to, well, we got the oil pan out, which I'll show you that. That's a whole nother process on something I didn't think was even a thing. Apparently it is. And this thing is just low enough to keep hitting my head on it. Anyway, you know, we dropped the oil out. It was all sludgy and goopy and stuff. Guys, I think I have found the... Remember back to the 02 F-150 out there, the old Harley truck that's out there somewhere. How bad the oil pan was? Well, I think we found one worse. Let me show you. Here's the pan. Get my light on it as if you really need it, but there's the pan. Now, you remember I let it set and drain the oil for several hours. Well, there's still oil down in there. It didn't even finish draining. It was so stopped up with all this gunk, right? Now, if this looks like this, you can imagine what the engine looks like. So let me show you. the windage tray and all sitting here. Guys, I have never in my entire life seen something quite this bad. Ever. So, yeah, you can see the absolute buildup inside the pickup right there. And, by the way, to get the oil pan out, you have to take the rack and pinion loose. You have to take this cross member out. All that just to wiggle that out of here. So, there's that, just so you know. 18 mil, 18 mil, 15 here, 15 here. And then the two 15/16 bolts that hold the rack and pinion up. You don't have to pull those bolts all the way out, but you got to pull them out far enough for this to drop down just a little bit. Then you can wiggle the oil pan out of there. And even then, it's still a bit of a tight fit. Good Lord. Look at this, guys. Oh, my stars. I have never, ever seen anything quite this bad. Hang tight to it so I can figure out what we're doing. All right, guys. So, as y'all seen where we left off yesterday, that's sludge, thick sludge. So, here's what the verdict is. I had the owner come over today and talk to me about it. We're going to be in a search for a new 5.3, okay? There's no way around it. We're not going to rebuild this. He also informed me that, and didn't inform me until today, that all this time this has been going on, with this truck getting worse and worse and worse, is that he's been having to add antifreeze to it. Well, it's obviously not coming out of the exhaust, because as you can see over my head there, that catalytic converter looks good. This catalytic converter looks good. The whole exhaust system is actually decent on this truck all the way down. There's no rust spots in it. So that tells me that the antifreeze that he's been losing has not been going out of the exhaust, which means it's only got one other place it can go, is inside the engine. So the answer to why this is this way is, one, 400,000 miles. Number two, antifreeze. So I got to put this back together so I can get it moved. So how I'm going to do that, I know it seems all in vain, but I'm going to pop that pickup tube off. I'm going to flush it. And then I'm going to spray this pan out some, but I'm not doing anything else with any of that up there. I don't know. I might pop that pan down, but I don't know. Hadn't really decided yet. But the main thing is I've got some burnt motor oil come out of several other vehicles that are just kept in gallon jugs. And we'll put some oil back in this so I can crank it up and move it, because it does still run somehow. Never know. I might clean that pickup tube and it run with like 80 pounds of oil pressure. Who knows? Doubtful, but who knows? But that'll work until we can get us a 5.3. So, or 4.8. If anybody's got a good 4.8, let me know. If anybody's got a good 5.3, let me know. We're not trying to spend $5,000 on an engine. This is a work truck, okay? So, hit me up in the email, bellbryan175@gmail.com. If you're anywhere near the Tri-Cities area, and if not, if you're a little bit further out, that's fine too. We can travel to come get one if we need to. A little ways, not too far. So, let's get that pickup tube off and go from there. So, I'm covered in grease, some thick, nasty stuff, and yeah, it's wonderful. So we got the valley pan off, got the oil pan off, or oil pickup tube and all that stuff off, and yeah, let's show you where we're at here. It's bad. It's real bad. But let me turn the light on here, see if you can see some. The whole inside of the engine is just as bad as the rest of it. There was like that much sludge in the bottom of the pan that I just got done scraping out. Reason being is because I'm going to put the oil pan back on here, put some used motor oil into it so I can move it around here until we get a new engine. But I at least wanted to give it a fighting chance for the yard anyway. I wouldn't take it on a trip or nothing, because right up here, you can't really see it that good, but right up here is 1 and 2 cylinders. They're done. The rest of them really are not that bad, but 1 and 2 is shot. So, yeah. That reluctor wheel is just gunk. The whole engine is just gunk. It's awful, guys. It is beyond awful. But on a positive note, we're getting a new engine. So, as I said, I'm doing this solely for the purpose of moving around the yard. Okay? So, here's the valley pan after I got done cleaning on it. There's the pickup tube after I got done cleaning on it. Believe it or not, you can see the screen in the bottom of it now. But, and the oil pan ain't much better than that, guys, but I'm not trying to make it perfect, not to be able to move the car around the yard or the truck around the yard. So let's slap this back together, throw some used oil in it, throw the old oil filter back on it, and rock and roll. Well, because I'm so smart, I done drove the truck off the lift and parked it back out there with the battery not working or anything like that. I got everything put back together and put the old raggedy oil filter back on it. And would you believe me if I told you that the oil pressure gauge is reading 80 PSI? Of course, it also reads that when you just turn the key on too, so I don't think it works properly. But just to show you how good the LS platform is, guys, y'all seen what that motor looked like. All I did was clean the tube out. Now, we're still putting an engine in this truck, but I wanted to show you this. Like, you can't make this stuff up, guys. Got my jump pack on my side. We're gonna pop the hood here. I'm gonna hook up jump pack and I'll show you. As I said, the truck runs. I didn't say it runs good at all. But here, I'll show you. Let's see if my jump pack has enough power to start it. Straight to 80. Okay. Hang on a second. You don't like the way the GM hookup is. I don't know. It may not have enough to fire it up, but there we go. It's running. Now, I mean, you can hear it sound like crap. You hear that rod knock. And them lifters ticking. But it runs. Here's the owner now. There you go, that took care of that. That truck runs, not good. So we're gonna get a new engine for it. Now we're gonna go get the F-150, put it up there and take care of it. It's a couple little issues. And that should take care of this video if I even make it to doing the work on the F-150. Who knows? We'll see. All right, so as y'all know, I just finished this truck. They took it home and it lasted no time before the new corner markers are doing that. And if you look in there, you see all kind of black buildup in it with the crappy bulb situation. So we contacted the company and they sent us a new set. So we just got to change those out. I don't know, that might be a lot of hours to do that, but let's look into it. Those of you who don't know, when it comes to changing your corner markers on your 02, 03 F-150, if you look down in there, there's one little star head screw, and it is a T something. It's this guy. T25, I think, is what this is. It used to say it on it somewhere. Anyway, you can get this set at O'Reilly's. It's just a little 2-pack of Torx screwdrivers. And I think it's a T25 and a T30 is what they come in. But that's what it is. One T25 bolt. Done. All right, guys. It's the next day. It's Monday. And I done got out here and threw this tire elevator onto this truck because it's brand new. Now, time for a rant. I'm all about saving money. Understand that. I love saving money. But you got to quit buying so much crap from eBay that don't work. Here's another item I've already put on the truck, and it don't work at all. Not even in the slightest form. And the bad part is there's no way to test it without putting it on there and putting a tire on it. There it is. That's where it stays. I'll show you. It's in the all the way down position, right? So it should start moving up. Well, first of all, it's extremely, extremely tight. It should never be that tight. And that's all you get, three turns. And it's locked up. So, now I have to fight that tire back out of there, get that one off so he can send it back. Again, I'm all about saving money, but when every part you buy is from eBay and it's all seems to be junk at some point or another, you got to stop with it. Like, that right there is a prime example of should have got it from Rock Auto or something. Because this is remanufactured from somebody's garage, I'm assuming. I don't know. But I know it gets just, it makes my top explode when you go through the work of putting something on and it's cheap, janky junk that don't work. Guys, I don't know. I don't know. Is our quality of stuff getting that bad? I don't know. All right, so it's easy enough to get in and out of the truck because it's only 2 bolts, one there, okay? That's not the hard part. It's just aggravating that it's got the stop sign right there, correct? So that means you shouldn't go up any further than that. Problem is that leaves tire hanging way low. They've got something all janked up with this, okay? Because, I mean, I didn't even get to rotate it, and it was locked up. So the issue with the old one was not that it didn't work, but it's got this thing in it. So we're going to see if we can pop that out and figure that out. That's some kind of forward lock or something. I'm not real sure. So it's got that same star pattern inside of it that's broke off or something. I don't know. I just know it don't work. So let's see if we can get that out. So we put the old one back in after I got that head knocked out of it. And would you look at here, it works. So at least he'll be able to send that one back and get his money back for it. So, all right, now we're gonna lower the truck down, put the spare tire under it, and rock and roll. We're done. Just like that, the new one's in, it's bolted up, and you just turn your crank like so. And this is how it's supposed to work. I'm doing it one-handed, guys. It just bebop right on up in there. Till your hand slips. Snug it just a little bit. You don't want to over tighten it and stretch the cable. But there it is, spare tire's in the hole where it goes. And then your bar here, for those of you who don't know, every Ford, it seems like, I don't know exactly how far back it goes, but I know it goes all the way to the 60s and 70s. It goes under the hood on your core support here and just clips down just like that. The jack is a different story. On your 80s models, it was back there in the corner or on that side wall somewhere, okay? So that takes care of that. Guys, that's going to conclude this week's episode of Brian's Custom Auto. If you stayed till this far into the video, thank you so much. And if you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you didn't get unsubscribed because YouTube's been doing that lately. Been having a lot of YouTube troubles as far as videos uploading and stuff. Anyway, we're going to utilize this truck and go take it to go get propane for the shop because it's getting winter quickly and it gets cold. So I need my heaters. So, like I said, that's going to do it for this one. Guys, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Share this with a friend. Hit that little bell icon. Oh, you know all the stuff you got to do. I don't have to keep telling you. The only thing I will keep telling you is this. If it doesn't challenge you, it don't change you. It never will. Okay? If you feel like you want to do something, just go do it. Go try at least. You never know that you can't do nothing if you don't try. Okay? Anyway, so that's going to do it. Guys, thank you so much. I'll see you next week.